saving grace. Kmart.
Kmart!
Is your saving
Yes, it is!
Is your saving.
Imagine a time while Kmart wasn't simply a store. It was a cherished part of everyday lifestyles. With more than 2,000 places nationwide, it changed into a place in which families sold everything from clothes to toys to that closing vacation gift. However, nowadays, that supermarket is almost forgotten once thriving. Only a few shops stood. So, what occurred? How did Kmart go from retail dominance to remote reminiscence? In this video, we dive deeper into the story behind Kmart's meteoric rise and similarly superb fall. Beginning of Kmart. The story of Kmart begins with Sebastian Sparing Kresge, or S.S. Kresge, the visionary they knew. In 1899, Kresge opened the primary 5-dime store in Detroit, Michigan with the easy yet effective concept of providing normal goods at very less costly fees, so that all people ought to have the funds for it. These shops quickly became popular and won a huge variety of everyday customers. Kresge's 5-dime stores laid the inspiration for what in the end have become Kmart. Over the decades, those shops elevated and spread across the country, and by the 1950s, Kresge's retail empire changed into prepared for the subsequent large step. The post-war economic boom became in full swing, and Americans had been keen to spend. Knowing this, Kresge ran boldly, turning his successful 5-dime concept into something much bigger. In 1962, the first Kmart store opened its doors in Garden City, Michigan. This was a new store, offering a larger selection under one roof, all at reduced prices. It was a revolutionary idea at the time. Big, brightly lit places where families could buy all the things they needed without breaking the bank. And they focused on low prices and popular markets, an approach that was more in line with middle-class America. From the beginning, Kmart was successful. Customers flocked to the shop, attracted by the promise of exceptional at unbeatable costs. The system became easy, however effective. Charges have been reduced, savings were handed directly to clients, and the hefty shopping turned into enjoyable. This winning strategy quickly set Kmart aside from other shops and laid the muse for its rapid enlargement. When the 1960s turned to the 1970s, Kmart was on a roll. The company embarked on an ambitious expansion plan, commencing hundreds of latest stores throughout the USA. By 1976, Kmart had opened its 1,000th store, a phenomenal feat that solidified its position as a prime participant in retail. The logo had grown to be synonymous with cheap purchasing, and Kmart stores were stoning up in every corner of the USA, from small cities to large towns. Kmart's growth wasn't just about starting more stores. It changed into approximately developing a shopping experience that human beings wanted to be part of. The introduction of the Blue Light Special has ended up one of Kmart's most iconic innovations. The easy, sparkling blue light signaled an outstanding discount on a particular item, giving customers a sense of exhilaration and urgency. It wasn't just about getting a deal. It became approximately the laughingstock of the quest, and Kmart knew a way to make shopping fun. Peak in growth. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Kmart continued to innovate and expand. The company ventured into new markets, bringing in private equity firms and introducing celebrity-endorsed products. The company was building a brand that people trusted and loved. By the late 1980s, Kmart was a household name, with more than 2,000 stores and a loyal customer base that spanned generations. Kmart had become more than just a retailer. It was part of the American way of life. Its growth and success over these decades has been nothing short of phenomenal. But as Kmart expanded, the retail landscape was changing as well. New competitors were emerging, and the strategies that had propelled Kmart to the top showed signs of solidification. The stage was set for a new chapter in Kmart's story, one that would bring both challenges and opportunities. Kmart's growth was beyond the entire U.S. It has since expanded far and wide, reaching markets in Puerto Rico, Guam, and Canada. This global expansion is a testament to Kmart's ambition and strength of its brand. By the 1980s, Kmart had firmly established itself as a household name not only throughout the United States, but also in these international markets. The Guam store in particular has been a beacon of Kmart's retail success, generating significant revenue and catering to a mix of local shoppers and tourists. During this time, the brand's influence continued to permeate popular culture, making appearances in movies and TV shows, further cementing its place in the American consciousness. Slogans like "The Saving Place" became synonymous with smart shopping, and the iconic blue light special was more than just a sale. Kmart, part of everyday life, was a symbol of convenience and affordability that influenced millions. The company's advertising campaigns were memorable, capturing the spirit of the era and reflecting consumer values. Whether through its catchy slogans, celebrity endorsements, or simply stores where families can find everything they need, Kmart has been a staple of American shopping. Kmart's influence peaked during this period, when the brand was not only a retail leader, but also a cultural icon. This was a time when Kmart demonstrated its ability to innovate, connect with customers, and extend its reach around the world. But like many great empires, the seeds of future challenges were already being sown, setting the stage for the company's eventual downfall. The downfall. As the 1990s rolled in, Kmart began facing mounting challenges that might quickly screen the cracks in its as soon as impenetrable armor. The retail panorama changed into evolving hastily, and competitors like Walmart and Target have been at the rise, aggressively shooting marketplace share with their personal versions of bargain retailing. Walmart's everyday low prices method began to eat into Kmart's patron base, at the same time as Target's upscale yet less expensive offerings attracted an exceptional segment of buyers. Kmart, regardless of its strong foothold, turned into now contending with a brand new breed of competitors who have been redefining the cut-price retail space. Internally, Kmart's control decisions began to falter. The business enterprise's foray into diversification with ventures like OfficeMax and Sports Authority became supposed to capitalize on new markets. However, those movements proved to be high-priced and in the end unsuccessful. The enlargement into workplace resources and sporting items did little to stem the tide of Kmart's declining marketplace position, and instead, it diluted recognition and sources. The overlooked opportunities have become glaringly obvious. As e-trade started out to gain momentum inside the 1990s, Kmart lagged behind in establishing a sturdy online presence. The enterprise's incapacity to conform to the digital age, blended with a reluctance to modernize its stores, left it vulnerable. While competition was harnessing the power of the net to force income and interact customers, Kmart's old stores and lackluster online strategy failed to capture the burgeoning online shopper demographic. Management turmoil, in addition, exacerbated the corporation's woes. Frequent modifications in leadership led to inconsistent techniques and a loss of coherent vision. The revolving door of CEOs and GoVT groups made it hard for Kmart to put in force and keep on with a protracted term plan. This instability eroded confidence among both employees and investors, contributing to the employer's developing troubles. These inner missteps, mixed with the relentless stress from outside competitors, marked the beginning of a sluggish but inexorable decline. Kmart's as soon as robust empire became now suffering to hold its foothold in a rapidly changing retail environment. The signs have been clean. Kmart turned into dropping its grip available on the market that had once been its area, and the demanding situations of the 90s have been placing the level for an excellent, extra tumultuous future. By 2002, the load of Kmart's missteps had become too heavy to undergo, leading the retail large to record a financial disaster. The agency's financial mismanagement had reached a tipping factor. Years of declining income, mounting debt, and a plummeting stock price set the stage for this dramatic flip. As Kmart struggled to maintain its doors open, it commenced final underperforming stores in a determined effort and reduced costs. These closures weren't simply numbers on a stability sheet, they represented hundreds of layoffs and a good-sized blow to local economies. The financial disaster marked a pivotal second for Kmart, but it also became the start of an extended and onerous struggle to regain balance. Despite efforts to streamline operations and decrease fees, the corporation's center problems remained unresolved. Kmart's reputation had been seriously broken, and the logo's potential to attract and preserve clients was dwindling. The demanding situations of a converting retail landscape, mixed with continual economic woes, made it increasingly hard for Kmart to show things around. In 2004, Kmart tried a comeback by merging with another struggling retail large, Sears. The merger changed into a retail powerhouse able to compete extra effectively with Walmart and Target. However, the predicted revitalization of the brand in no way absolutely materialized. Instead of synergy, the merger often felt like a case of sinking ships trying to live afloat together. The mixed entity faced a number of the identical troubles that had plagued Kmart, including old stores and a lack of clear strategic route. Despite the merger, Kmart's decline continued. Store closures have become an everyday occurrence as the employer sought to reduce its footprint and awareness on its more worthwhile locations. The once outstanding retailer saw its marketplace percentage diminish, and its capacity to compete with greater agile and current retailers similarly eroded. The decline turned into a gradual and painful method, marked by using periodic announcements of extra save closures and ongoing struggles to adapt to the evolving retail environment. As if Kmart's monetary struggles weren't enough, the store also confronted full-size environmental and social challenges that similarly tarnished its reputation. In May 2007, Kmart was slapped with a hefty first-class bill of $102,422 through the Environmental Protection Agency. This high quality became an immediate end result of violations associated with hazardous waste control, clean water rules, and emergency making plans at several of its distribution facilities. The EPA's research found out a range of issues, from improperly classified oil storage drums to inadequate spill prevention measures. These violations, now not simplest, showcased Kmart's lapses in environmental duty, but also highlighted the wider trouble of company oversight. In response to those environmental issues, Kmart took steps to cope with the violations. The corporation labored to enforce spill prevention plans, carried out necessary stormwater permits, and started out adhering to dangerous waste generator requirements. They additionally update their reporting practices to make certain that nation and local emergency planning businesses have been well knowledgeable about dangerous materials on online websites. Despite these corrective measures, the harm to Kmart's photo had already been completed, casting a shadow over its efforts to modernize and enhance. Socially, Kmart confronted criticism for its animal welfare practices. In 2012, the organization Mercy for Animals carried out undercover research at Christensen Farms, a red meat provider for Kmart, Walmart, and Costco. The footage captured intense animal cruelty, which included pigs limited in tiny gestation crates and the mistreatment of piglets. This scandal precipitated a robust response from Kmart, which pledged to require its beef providers to section out the usage of gestation crates. The enterprise's dedication to animal welfare became visible as a vital, however belated step to address the ethical concerns raised through the investigation. These environmental and social troubles, coupled with Kmart's financial woes, painted a troubling picture of the agency's struggles. The retailer's efforts to accurate its environmental violations and address animal welfare concerns have been critical. However, they regularly felt like too little, too past due. Kmart's pursuits extended well past the continental United States, with ventures into international markets, aiming to seize a worldwide audience. Its first sizable foray came into Australia in 1969, where Kmart installed a presence via a joint task with Coles. This venture proved a hit, leading to the growth of Kmart stores across Australia and later into New Zealand in 1988. The Australian and New Zealand operations eventually became separate entities when Kresge bought its stake, and nowadays, they're part of Wesfarmers. Despite these successes, Kmart's worldwide footprint faced numerous hurdles. In Canada, Kmart firstly increased with stores establishing in Ontario within the early 1960s. By the past due 1990s, but the Canadian marketplace has become a battleground of monetary woes. Kmart's Canadian division changed into Hudson's Bay Company in 1998, marking the end of Kmart's presence in Canada and leading to the conversion of its stores into Zellers and different Hudson's Bay brands. Kmart's global ventures also covered ties inside the Caribbean and Mexico. In the early 2000s, Kmart embarked on a Caribbean expansion, focused on markets in which competitors like Walmart had yet to set up a foothold. Unfortunately, those objectives did not materialize into successful operations. A Super Kmart was under construction in Trinidad, but was left unfinished when Kmart ceased payments to its contractors. Plans for expansion into international locations like Jamaica, Barbados, and the Dominican Republic additionally faltered, with the Trinidad store in the end being repurposed right into a True Value supermarket. Kmart's foray into Mexico in the 1990s concerned opening numerous supercenters in suburban regions around Mexico City. These stores, which mixed retail with vast grocery sections, were brought to the Mexican chain Mega in 1997. The Mexican stores endured to perform beneath Mega, besides for the Tlalnepantla vicinity, which turned into demolished to make way for a Costco. As Kmart's worldwide ventures faltered, the corporation's focus shifted back to its middle markets. The Puerto Rican operations, which had begun with a strong presence within the 60s, confronted growing struggles. Despite efforts to reinvigorate the brand with new safe openings and rebranding as Big Kmart, the Puerto Rican market proved difficult. By 2022, Kmart closed its final shop in Puerto Rico, marking the cease of its long presence on the island. Amid the worldwide decline, Kmart's shop in Guam provided a completely unique anomaly. The Guam Kmart changed into an outlier, thriving in a market exceptionally remote from competition and boasting extraordinary sales figures. It became a tremendous sales generator, with the store accomplishing file income and high purchaser traffic compared to its counterparts international. However, even this fulfillment couldn't shield Kmart from its broader struggles. The Guam region, even as profitable, turned into no longer sufficient to counterbalance the store's universal decline. Many people who grew up loving Kmart's endless toy aisles and signature blue light specials still have a special place in their hearts for the store. Many families considered their visits to Kmart to be treasured customs, rather than just places to run errands. Kmart was a place where special moments were created, whether it was the excitement of racing to score a deal under the whirling blue light, or the delight of selecting a toy from an apparently endless selection. While parents valued the variety and convenience of the products offered, children delighted in the wonder of exploring the toy section. The Kmart experience extended well beyond shopping, as the store served as a backdrop for important life events, and photo booths captured moments of joy shared by families. Many people have happy memories of the times when going to Kmart was a big deal, whether it was selecting G.I. Joe figures with their grandparents or indulging in a pizza slice at the cafe. These first-hand accounts and recollections capture an era when Kmart was more than simply a store. It was a cherished fixture in people's lives. These memories act as moving reminders of a time when Kmart was a thriving center of family life and community connection as the store fades into history. Current state today, the panorama of Kmart is markedly distinctive from its heyday. As of latest updates, only some Kmart shops remain operational. These shops are scattered across America, with the maximum excellence being positioned in places like Miami, Florida, and a few different places which have managed to persist in spite of the wider decline. The last Kmart stores frequently feature a nostalgic look that displays their vintage origins, entirely with the classic blue light special signs and symptoms that had been once an indicator of the emblem. However, those shops additionally face cutting-edge demanding situations, such as old stock structures and limited product choice, in comparison to their greater nimble competitors. In their local communities, those Kmart stores often function as a throwback to a generation when Kmart turned into a dominant retail pressure. As we wrap up our journey into the rise and fall of Kmart, we'd love to hear from you. Did you have any memorable reviews purchasing at Kmart? How do you observe its story reflects the broader developments in retail? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on more stories like this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to stay updated. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.